So going into like you're dealing with these individuals, and I get startup, it's a good place to be, right? You're talking about Series A, and that's when they have a chunk of money and it's expendable money to a certain extent. They want to scale.
Correct.
What what software and tools do you use on a day-to-day basis that you would not be able to do what you're doing without having access to those platforms?
My gosh. All right. So I'm part old school and part new school. Let me break it down. One of the things that drives me nuts, because I used to work with IT professionals all the time, is when you walk in and you have a tech stack for this tiny company and they have like 75 things in their tech stack. And you're like, why? Like, why do we have all of these things that we have to use? Like, I think that less is more. So what I did is I did some research for myself for a number of years ago, and I chose a platform. It's similar to HubSpot, but it's called Zoho One. Now, some people love it, some people hate it, but here's why I chose it. Based on my marketing needs at the time and currently, I wasn't doing a bunch of inbound marketing. I wasn't in a position where I necessarily could even maximize the capabilities of HubSpot, for example. So what I did is I recognized what I'm needing more than anything is a really solid operations, CRM, and project management infrastructure. And Zoho One fit the bill. And so for $40 a month per user, and there's just me,
Mhm.
um, talk about a pleasure for that price, right? So that was actually what I have taken and built. And what that has done for me is freed up hours a week in terms of client management, invoicing, um, even project and tasks. Instead of me having a checklist next to me, I actually can put times and frames on those and more accurately manage when do I want to accomplish this and who's going to accomplish this? Do I need to bring in an outside resource to do this, or is that my task? That has been invaluable for me. The other thing that is the most important thing that I did early on is I productized my entire process.
Mhm.
So you and I could go to town on this one, right? So instead of me coming in every time and just being a consultant that's like, let's just talk strategy.
Mhm.
I was like, no, A, I'm going to go on a tangent. B, my client's going to go on a tangent. So what I did is I built just a Word document
Mhm.
and I built this brand playbook and it's like 30 pages long. And it's got all the questions that we ask in session one. It's got the charts we fill out in session two and all the sections. And then at the end of it is all the final brand components that the client walks away with, including like an implementation checklist. It's so nice then because we know what we're doing every step of the way. And more importantly, my client loves it because they feel that instead of talking at brand at a high level nebulous place, they're really getting a tactical thing. They're getting their brand in a book.
Mhm.
And they love that. I want to give them a deliverable that they can use for years to come. So that was critical.
Mhm.
Writing that brand playbook allows me then in the room to not have to write down every question every time, but to actually type and do the magic with them. That's where now I'm freed up to do the magic in the room.